channel. If you are new here, I am Afyong. Now, on a plant-based diet, every once in a while, you probably crave a solid breakfast. Now, for me, a solid breakfast normally includes an omelette. And on a plant-based diet, you definitely don't have to miss out. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a mung bean omelette, which is basically a mung bean crepe, but I'm going to add an ingredient to it to give you that eggy flavor. Now, the ingredient I'm talking about is kalana mac. It is used a lot in Indian cooking, but it does have this sort of sulfurous aroma to it that gives you the feel and the taste of eggs. Now, the key to using kalana mac is to add it towards the end of cooking, and also you just need a little bit of it because otherwise your food will be tasting like rotten eggs, and we don't need any of that. But anyway, this omelette is going to be served with some roasted vegetables. I've got some tomatoes and mushrooms in here, and I'm going to serve it up on the side with some avocado and some spinach. You are going to love this. It is such a filling dish. So while I head into the kitchen to show you how to make this dish, definitely look below this window. You will see a subscribe button. Go ahead and tap that. Go ahead and tap the notification bell right next to it. That way we can stay connected, and you can always get a notification every time a new video goes up on this channel. So let's get to making this omelette. So here we have our soaked whole mung beans. We also have some coconut milk, onion. We've got our spices here, and we have the filling ingredients, which I'm going to fill this with some spinach and also some tomatoes, a jalapeno, and some mushrooms. We'll start by preparing the filling first. Now, I just want to bake these cherry tomatoes, so I'm just going to cut them into halves. And then once I've done that, I'm just going to throw them in a bowl and give them a quick seasoning. We're also going to slice up these mushrooms. I just had some mushrooms left over in my fridge, so I just grabbed what I have. You can really use any mushroom you like for this. Next up, we're going to slice our onion, and we're going to bake this as well. This is going to go really fast. So we've got tomatoes, we've got mushrooms, and we've got our onion all diced. Now for the tomatoes, I'm just going to put in a bit of avocado oil, some black pepper, and a pinch of salt, and I'm just going to give everything a quick toss. I'm then going to put these in a baking pan, and we're just going to go ahead and bake them in the oven. The oven is already preheated. So again, we're going to pop these in the oven. It's been preheated, and we're going to bake them for about 20 to 25 minutes. Next up, we are going to take on the mushrooms. I'm just going to put them in the same bowl as the tomatoes. I've got some parsley here. I'm also going to add some black pepper as well as some salt, a little bit of oil, and give everything a toss. The thing about the mushrooms is try not to put too much oil in it, because mushroom also has its own water which will come out while it's baking, and we really want the mushrooms to be dry. So we'll put these on a baking tray, and I'm going to go ahead and add onions to the same bowl. And again, just really simple seasoning here, just a little bit of oil. I'm going to add in some salt and pepper, and I didn't do this on camera, but I also added in a little bit of sweetness to really just cut through the acidity in these onions. So I'm going to stick them on the same pan, and we're going to put these in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. Next, we're going to tackle the batter. I have the soaked mung beans here, so I'm going to go ahead and add those to the jug along with the coconut milk, which I'm going to pour in here. I'm then going to add in all the spices. So I've got some onion and some garlic powder, so we'll go ahead and pour those in. I've got some turmeric, which is going to add that yellowish omelette color. I'm also adding in some smoked paprika, which also adds in color and flavor. Some nutritional yeast, which is optional, but it just gives this an extra kick. Some black pepper and a pinch of salt. Now we're going to blend this for about 60 seconds, and you will come back with this lovely batter that looks like beaten eggs. So I'm going to pour this into a bowl, and this is just going to make it easy for me to ladle out the batter in the frying pan. Now the best time to add kalanamak to this is while it is cooking, but I am just going to go ahead and add a little bit to the batter and mix it in just to get some of that flavor through. It does cook through easily, so you may need to add more. So I'm going to go ahead and start making these omelettes. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil in the pan. Again, this is just to help with the cooking of the omelette batter. And just remember that if the batter is a bit too thick, you can always add a little bit more. You can add a little bit of water to it to thin it out. So you really want it to have that beaten egg consistency that you would have if you were making an omelette using eggs. I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the top of this, again, just to help with the cooking and to crisp it up. And I'm going to flip it over and just look at that. Like, doesn't it look like eggs already? So our omelette is pretty much cooked on both sides. Just look at that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a plate and add in my fillings, which are already done. So I've got some spinach here, which I'm just going to lay onto half of this, and then I'm going to top that off with the mushrooms and tomatoes. Look at those tomatoes. They just look really deep in color. The flavor has really intensified. I could just eat them like that. So I'm adding on the mushrooms and the onions. I'm gonna top this with a few slices of fresh jalapeno peppers, which just adds texture to the filling. And I'm gonna go ahead and flip that over. Now this is breakfast, but you know what, vegetables for breakfast are great. So I'm gonna add in the rest of my spinach, those cherry tomatoes, because they just taste so good. And I'm going to add some slices of avocado, which I also topped with some chili pepper flakes. Now look at this. Doesn't this look like a breakfast or a brunch that you would just love to have? Remember to hit that subscribe button. I really hope that you enjoyed watching me make this. If you do make this recipe, definitely tag me on social media. And as I always say, eating more plants is a good thing to do. I'll catch you in the next video.